Man, Rooster, it's got to be 5 o'clock somewhere.
So yeah, where were we? We were talking about digital space. And...
I don't know. I'm just glad I got a refill.
Seriously, this beer is required. Beer. This, like we said, this digital space is going to be filled with real property. Like it took me.
But how is that possible?
It took me so long to wrap my mind around like how you can physically own like a piece of something that's digital. You know, like an NFT.
Digital code.
That's what it is.
Digital code, right? It's digital code. You own that code.
Yeah.
Right, and you were talking about NFTs. Now, NFTs are very interesting to me.
Oh yeah.
So, in the world of imagery, depending on what universe you live in, there's only a specific snap of one particular millisecond of something, right, or something that's created.
Yeah.
So NFTs are really interesting to me on the blockchain because either you create something or you purchase a pre-existing image, which we'll get into that in a minute because what you were saying. But then you can set value to it, right? Or you can take it to auction and somebody can own that image indefinitely. They own the copyrights, all the rights to it.
The royalties that come with it.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. So that is a very interesting concept to me in the way that they've changed since they first originated and now that they're using they're using code. And like I was trying to explain was like if you're on the Ethereum blockchain and you create a project and let's say you say it's worth $40,000, right? Somebody purchases it for $40,000, right? But in reality is that shows the benchmark of what it was worth. Okay? So at the same time...
Which is what, like the bottom line?
Right.
What benchmark is like the base that it'll start out with? Okay.
So it's $40,000. So if you wanted to come purchase it from me, it's $40,000. Because I purchased it for $40,000. But see, I'm not stupid. I want to actually increase the potential of it. So now there's code that's written into it where people really like it and they can donate to your work. And let's say over the course of 6 months, that $40,000, because it essentially becomes a burner, a black hole.
That sucks that cryptocurrency in.
Right, because people are like throwing you pocket change, and now it's accumulated to $60,000.
So I didn't realize, so the donations that people make towards your work are what increases its value in this example.
In this example, yes.
Yeah.
And so now, whatever it's accumulated in that time period is now the base of what it can be sold at. Okay? And usually, when you look at that, if you have something that's pretty common and is not very original, yeah, it could only be a certain amount. But then let's say you have something that's really popular, right? Let's say you had like the graffiti artist Obey did a specific piece for you on a wall, and you took a snapshot of it, and it's an authentic Obey, and he fucking covered it up. Nobody else can fucking ever see it again. And you own that picture.
Yeah.
That could be worth tens of millions of dollars, right? Because there's so much merchandise that's made with that artist's name on it.
Right.
Right? But at the same time, people could donate into it, and it becomes like this holding, right?
But that's what I'm sure a lot of people, like some of our viewers, won't understand is how something that's digital, how you can physically own it, or that how it can gain value. So, like...
The specific code to it. So the image itself is just a fraction.
Yeah.
And then the back code is something else. Now, when I transfer of ownership, I would have to give you the keys to that wallet that particular piece sits on, all those different things. Nobody else can access that unless they hack your account.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the other part of that is the more it accumulates over time, the more valuable it becomes. Because the more it holds in its essence, raises that particular crypto price because it's holding so much. Right? So that's what really creates the intrinsic value to that piece.
Exactly.
And you as the owner have access to all that, whether it was donations or something that, previous purchases and you just acquired it.
Right.
You now own all those transactions, all that coin.
Exactly.
And you can do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Exactly.
So,
and that's what I think some people wouldn't understand is like, oh, why couldn't I just take a screenshot of this NFT and now I have it, now I can disperse it? But it's like, you can't make a profit from that screenshot in any way.
You can be sued to oblivion.
Exactly, because the people who own that picture and that code are the only one who have rights to distribute it in any way. So it's weird trying to wrap your... It was weird for me too, and that's why I'm kind of trying to explain it, is how you can wrap your mind around like a digital construction somehow being a real piece of property that gains value, that you can sell, and that can't be stolen easily.
It's the ultimate watermark.
Exactly, yeah. Because it's not on the picture, it is the picture.
Right. And you got somebody else like producing merchandise stickers, printings or whatever of your particular image, you literally can sue them into oblivion.
Yeah.
Because that was the big thing in photography and in artworks, is that anything can be reproduced. Right?
Exactly.
But the original it's always really hard to put a full copyright on something, right? Because up until the digital age, any forger could make whatever they wanted out of it, right? Not anymore. Not anymore.
Exactly.
And that's where, a lot of these people, a lot of estates and trusts and everything that have all these artworks, they're taking literally photographs of original works and then locking them into the blockchain, and that cannot, you may be able to picture buy the picture on the wall.
Yeah.
Right? But you can't do a reproduction printing of it. You couldn't do this or that or this unless you own the actual code now that says you are the owner. You are the absolute owner.
Right.
And you are screwed if you're caught doing it.
I think that's another big piece that a lot of people don't understand, is the blockchain and how it works, and how it... I don't pretend to understand exactly how it works, so you probably know a lot more than I do, but the security of the blockchain and how it protects those types of things, and people make all types of programs that are coordinated around the blockchain because it's severe security.
And it's definite.
Yeah.
It's not there's no, once it's locked into a contract or code, it's done. It cannot be altered.
Exactly. You can't just go on to the blockchain and
there's nothing left to interpretation.
Yeah.
That's why in the legal world of that, when they're doing these things called smart contracts and they embed in physical contracts after signatures, that is like the end all to be all. That's what
they embed blockchain.
So so what happens is they build a smart contract, and the smart contract, it houses a physical contract that's signed in real life, which is then scanned, uploaded, locked on a blockchain, and can never be altered once the signatures are acquired and certified. So, because in the world of business and everything else, people go in and they alter things, right? They forge it and they change things, and later on come and say, no, they signed this contract. I don't know what that contract is. They signed this contract, and it changes the scope of the entire language. That's why that's one of the fastest industries in blockchain, is to lock in physical contracts.
Gotcha.
Because once it's done, it is permanent.
Yeah.
It is done. You cannot alter that shit.
Exactly. And that's how each of these things can grow and attain more value, because they're totally locked in. Nothing is changing about the ownership, about the visual of the image or anything. It's like it's a whole new space that I'm still trying to wrap my head around, how these digital things can be a physical, real piece of property or ownership.
And what's crazy is it's not actually physical.
Exactly.
It's literally air.
It's
ones
and zeros.
It's been bombarding your brain for years, and that's why you're developing a third head. I mean, this is what's happening. Right? It's crazy.
For real.
We talk about, like you were talking about the NBA and how the NBA is selling images.
Exactly. Clips of highlights throughout history.
Right.
And then, so whoever buys them literally owns that clip of the footage of Michael Jordan doing a dunk, sticking his fucking tongue out or whatever.
And if you break that up by millisecond frame, and you sold each individual frame, or you tried to sell them as a set, you know how much that's worth?
Yeah.
Because only you at that point own the rights.
If you wanted to distribute that picture or sell it or, post it as an ad or do anything, somebody's going to have to come to you to gain access to that little video clip or whatever. That's what I saw was that video of when D-Wade passes the ball to LeBron and then LeBron's mid-dunk and D-Wade's sticking his arms out like this. Each one of those frames sold for over $200,000. Yeah, and it was like a 20 frames of video.
Yeah, $4 million right there for the whole thing.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, seriously. It's been some of the NFTs though. I don't understand the appeal.
No, and that's where like a lot of unique artists kind of stand out. Could you imagine? You are the owner of the Andy Warhol Campbell soup can, right? And you actually snap that, and then you put it into an NFT world, and then from that point forward, no one, absolutely no one, can reproduce or print an image without paying you a royalty.
Seriously though.
I mean, all the textbooks, brochures, history, everything. That is an iconic image, right? That is an iconic image, and from that point forward, you're getting revenues from it.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's the ultimate residual income stream.
Yeah, because it will just gain in value, and when people want to access it, they have to request that from you.
Right.
And then eventually you just cash out, take the $1 billion check.
The $1 billion check. That's true. That's true. I mean, what's going on right now, I mean, $1 could basically be $1 million like in third world countries. It's like it costs you $5 million to buy a hot dog.
Right. Yeah, in like fucking like Venezuela.
Oh, God.
I've seen videos of that where this guy was literally talking about how buying a hot dog on the street is 3 weeks' pay for him in Venezuela. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah, it's not good.
Jesus Christ! These guys
good.
need to switch over to the digital market. Fuck all the Venezuelan coins. They need to get in something that's got some real value.
Well, I'm telling you, in the NFT world, we're just looking at the beginning, because when NFTs were first originated, a lot of it was unique art, right? And now it kind of died off, and now it's coming back because legality function of it was realized. Right, the concrete legal law that's attached to copyright was realized. I mean, you can't I don't care what side hustle you got going on in New York. You get caught selling something with an image that's been locked into an NFT, you're going to jail.
You're going to jail
because they got you. I mean, it's like looking at different iconic things. I mean, look at the Doors album with Jim Morrison in black and white.
Yeah.
Right. You look at NFL logos. You look at NBA logos. You look at NASCAR. You look at those snapshots they do on a NASCAR finish, like somebody that needed the sixth win to, bring in the whole fucking circuit that year, and they got it, and you could just see the bumper just barely going over.
You own that instance,
right? In
time, basically, you own that instance of that guy passing the line by 1 foot or whatever,
right? And then my favorite is, I'm just waiting to see it, as the iconic Grateful Dead colored bears.
Oh yeah,
right? Because those fuzzy little animals, it's like, oh my God, those things have been everywhere forever.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And if you bought that, and you put that on the NFT,
right,
you can retire.
Yeah, exactly.
You can retire.
Right.
Whatever it costs, you're gonna make it back real quick.
Yeah. I wonder if they're gonna take real pictures that we consider, for example, like the Mona Lisa. Creating an NFT of the Mona Lisa, and how that differs from the actual value.
How would you do that? Because I don't know. Is there an estate for?
Yeah, for what? Leo's fucking family? Leonardo da Vinci's family?
Right. You think you could actually know who his descendants are?
Yeah, no.
I mean, I think it's whoever the current owner is.
Exactly. That's what I would assume.
So
it's a whole super new, interesting space where
it's
going to be the future of property, and because moving into this whole metaverse we've been talking about, is digital functions are going to become real property.
Oh, digital is real property.
Already, yeah.
Period.
But, yeah.
Period.
But soon we'll all be fat Wallies on the couch.
God, I hope not. God, I hope not. I don't need to get any fatter. I need a refill. We gotta go.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.
That does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to, that show.